Ciao. All right, I didn't expect to be back so soon with more aviation, tourist, travel news type thing. But here we are. They've again released both news organizations have released more information. Before we get into this, I'd greatly appreciate it if you smash the like button. It helps the channel so much. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe so you can see more videos like this. I also have 400 other videos of me traveling all over Vietnam, all over Saigon, showing you good places to eat, hotel room reviews, pagodas, you name it, I shoot it. So yeah, consider subscribing and checking out more of the channel. So I'm here with Reporter Bear. Say hello to him. I have him looking like me today. Looking pretty good with the hat on, mate. Good job, bro. All right, so let's get into it. Vietnam Aviation Authority proposes timeline to reopen international routes. Before we get into this, new Patreon video drops today. We do one podcast a week, and then I'm going to shoot one additional out and about Patreon video. So there's going to be 2 unique videos made for Patreon only. Consider supporting the channel on patreon.com/fat and broke. The Civil Aviation Authority of Vietnam has proposed the Ministry of Transport consider the gradual reopening of regular international commercial routes in 3 stages in the remaining part of this year. In the first phase, such international commercial flights will be open to Vietnamese citizens with the approval of competent agencies. Vietnamese airlines and travel companies must coordinate with local authorities and diplomatic agencies to arrange the reception and quarantine of passengers at hotels. Air tickets, COVID-19 tests, quarantine costs at hotels, meals for 15 days, and pickup service fees will be charged in the package. The package flights will be launched along with the repatriation services organized by the national government, whose passengers will be sent to centralized quarantine facilities instead of hotels. That's kind of a big one, huh? The operation market of these flights will be decided at the request of Vietnamese carriers. So it sounds like they're going to start repatriating. I know how to say that word, but I'm just messing it up right now. It sounds like you're going to be able to get back if you're a Vietnamese citizen and you're willing to do the quarantine and pay for the test and the quarantine. Prices on that at their facilities are not known yet, but I mean, for people just wanting to get home, it could be a really viable option. The operation markets of these flights will be decided by the Vietnamese carriers. The flight frequency will depend on the quarantine capacity of each location. Permits for these flights can only be granted only after local authorities agree to the reception and quarantine plan. In the second phase, international commercial flights will be opened to both Vietnamese and foreign citizens. Passengers will be subject to quarantine upon their arrival, but they will not be requested to submit COVID-19 test certificates. So they won't be requested to submit COVID-19 tests. These flights are expected to be deployed from July and operated together with aforementioned package flights carrying stranded Vietnamese citizens home. The first routes, this is the big one where people kind of miss this in this article that commented on my things. The first routes will include those connecting Vietnam with Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. So it's kind of a bubble. It's not going to be international, you know. It's not going to be everywhere. Now, does that mean you could go to South Korea, you know, do whatever their thing is and then redo it here again and waste 30 days of your life? Sure. People have already done that have come here. No. The airlines of each side will operate these flights with the frequency of 4 flights per week per turn. In total, 24 flights will carry 6,000 to 7,000 passengers to Vietnam from Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan every week. The airlines must submit a flight plan that includes the quarantine and admission scheme approved by the locality where the airport of landing is located. Passengers must pay the full package of airfares, cost of 15-day isolation at local hotels, pickup service from the airport to the quarantine hotel, 3 standard meals a day, and the cost of the COVID-19 test to the airline or a designated partner. Inbound passengers on each flight will be arranged to stay separately at 2 to 3 different hotels. In the third phase, regular international commercial flights will resume, without passengers being subject to quarantine upon arrival. After the acceptance of vaccine passports in Vietnam. So the only way I think you're going to have this vaccine passport thing be legit is a piece of paper ain't going to cut it, because like they'll just forge it. You're going to have to create a digital system with each government to where like they check and see if you actually have the vaccine. A piece of paper, I just don't see how that would work. I imagine that would get photoshopped within 5 minutes. So like I don't think, if they're going to try to just rely on a piece of paper, I think that's a bad idea. Now, if they figure out some digital way to do it and see for sure that you actually got the vaccine, I'm for that. I'm fine with that. Let's get the party started again, you know? These flights are expected to be operated from September, depending on the progress in COVID-19 vaccination and the level of herd immunity in Vietnam. I think that's a little jump in the gun to September. I think they're just being really optimistic. I don't know. They've only got like 50,000 people so far on the AstraZeneca stab. And the only two vaccines they're counting official right now are Sputnik and AstraZeneca. They haven't added Moderna or anything else to the list yet. I'm sure that'll change though. But as of right now, Vietnam accepts Sputnik and AstraZeneca. So the flights will reconnect Vietnam with the countries and territories that have recognized the effectiveness of COVID-19 vaccines used in the Southeast Asian country. With the initial frequency of 7 flights per week, turn for the airlines of each side. Passengers with the negative results using the real-time PCR technique, so I'm guessing that's the cotton swab, within 3 to 5 days before entering Vietnam, an international vaccine certificate will be exempted from centralized quarantine. Again, I don't see how a certificate's going to really do anything, but, you know. After making entry into Vietnam, passengers must declare their stays to the local authorities of their place of residence and self-quarantine for 7 to 14 days under the guidance of the Ministry of Health. So it sounds like you still have to do a quarantine for 7 or 14 days, self-quarantine. That's again putting a lot of trust into people. I don't know how great of an idea that is either, but time will tell. Passengers who fail to submit the negative test certificate and international vaccination pass must undergo a 14-day paid quarantine, period. In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, Vietnam has closed its borders to foreign visitors since March 1st last year. Since March last year, not the first. And only allowed entry to certain people like international experts and diplomats who will be quarantined upon arrival. The country has recorded 2,603 cases of COVID-19, with 2,359 recoveries and 35 deaths as of Thursday morning, according to the Ministry of Health's data. So let me check the other news one and see if there's any, different information on here. Let's see here. Oh, Hanoi receives first vaccine batch under COVAX amid global supply shortage. Vietnam Airlines will reopen international commercial flights connecting Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City with several Asian destinations, including South Korea, Japan, and Australia, starting this Sunday. It's interesting. Stranded foreigners. The national flag carrier said flights from Hanoi to South Korea's Incheon City will depart every Thursday, while there will have 7 flights from Hanoi to Japan's Narita City in April, with the first scheduled to depart on April 3rd. The carrier will also operate 1 flight from Hanoi to Australia's Sydney every Saturday, while flights from Ho Chi Minh to Sydney would depart every Thursday and Sunday. On return trips, the carrier would only carry Vietnamese citizens being reparated, or foreign experts with permission to enter the country. Vietnam is yet to open its doors to foreign tourists. Okay, well, that's the update. I don't know. This wasn't completely clear, this first article we read on like tourism, but it kind of was. So I just figured I'd put the update video out there. People are already talking about it. I just shot this video, but this one's going to come out right now. I'm going to edit it, upload it. It should be up by 12:30. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one, and peace out.